Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Al Fath News. Despite the pandemic, some people hasn't been going outside these days. Technology advancements and social media create opportunities to keep people connected and informed. However, the same tools also enable and amplify the current infodemic that continues to undermine the global response and jeopardizes measures to control the pandemic. Based on World Health Organization, young people are less at risk of severe disease from COVID-19. They are a key group in the context of this pandemic and sharing the collective responsibility to help us stop transmission. They are also the most active online, interacting with an average number of 5 digital platforms, such as TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or Snapchat. Here's a video of someone's opinions during this pandemic, especially about the reduced direct social interaction because they are too comfortable using social media.
How does this barrage of bad news that we're seeing right now influence our perception of this pandemic?
Well, first of all, it tilts the perception in a certain direction because, as you already mentioned, most of the news are actually negative. So we get the idea that the world out there is even more negative and even more challenging than it is really. So what that does to our brain is really create a continuous or chronic stress response. So we're continuously in this situation where we think we either have to fight or run, the fight or flight response. And what that does to our perception and also to our decision-making abilities is currently under research. And what we know so far is that it definitely hinders long-term or good decisions that are focusing on long-term plans. When we don't see something, we actually can't grasp it because our brains are not optimized for that. So it really needs to be local, it needs to be immediate, and it needs to hurt people for us in order to act. And of course, that creates really a challenging situation because then what also comes into effect is what I mentioned before, that it creates this continuous stress response, which hinders our problem-solving abilities.
Many were old enough to understand communicating through social media, yet too young. Some of us had also lost their academic success to social life. The pandemic took away important parts of their youth. Younger generations are more likely to say they could have more used emotional support than they received since the pandemic started. Others revealed long spells of isolation had made them understand the need for genuine human interactions. Life cannot be lived in social networks or video calls. We need people around to make sense of ourselves. But for now, the impact of anxiety, loneliness, academic stress, and chronic insecurity is conveyed in crushing terms. A roller coaster, overwhelming, and terrifying are used to describe how life feels for many young adults. Gen Z, it hasn't given a push to force solidarity among this generation. That is the Al Fath News for this Monday. Thanks for watching. I am Abel. Have a great day.